watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
We're following breaking news out of the College area where 2 people are dead, including a La Mesa police officer following a crash. It's 6 a.m. here on this Tuesday. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Netta Irampour. This happened in the eastbound lanes of Interstate 8 near Fairmount just before 11 last night. And that's where CBS 8's Regina Yarita is joining us live from the scene with the very latest details now. Regina, what have you found out?
Hey, Netta, yeah, Eric, I can tell you guys it's still an active scene right behind me. I kind of want to show you what we're still looking at as this stretch of Interstate 8 is still closed off to the public. We're still noticing part of that wreckage here. You're also looking at several investigators on scene. They've been taking pictures, collecting evidence from this crash. Again, as I mentioned, a long stretch of Interstate 8 still closed off to the public, and I'm being told that the freeway will be closed for several hours. I spoke with Captain Reggie Williams with the California Highway Patrol about an hour ago. This is just a tragic accident. 2 people are now dead this morning. One of them is a La Mesa police officer. According to police, a series of traffic accidents happened here. They say at around 10:22 p.m. last night, a vehicle traveling eastbound on Interstate 8 was driving out of control for reasons still under investigation and ended up crashing into another car. Police confirmed the driver who crashed is now dead. A La Mesa police officer also traveling eastbound encountered the crash and proceeded to assist. The officer pulled over, got out of his patrol cruiser. At some point while taking the report of the first accident, another car also driving eastbound on the 8 hit the police officer. Now, there are still lots of questions. Investigators continue to be here on scene. I want to pull up video of the procession that started earlier from the location of the crash to the coroner's office. Just a heartbreaking scene of a police officer. We do have this police officer's name. But again, you can imagine how San Diego police is feeling at this time, how the officer's family feels. It's just a really tough morning for our law enforcement who are now grieving the loss of one of their brothers or sisters. And if we can come back out here live, again, a series of crashes that has now left a driver and a La Mesa police officer dead. In the next half hour, we'll share more information of this police officer and, of course, the crash that happened here. But again, a very heartbreaking scene. For now, I'll send it back to you.
And Regina, according to a press release we received here from the La Mesa Police Department, we now know the officer's name, 25-year-old Lauren Craven. So just a young officer on the force here. In that release, they say that while assisting motorists, Officer Craven was struck by an oncoming vehicle and died at the scene. This is a live look at La Mesa Police Department headquarters, where officers have laid flowers after Officer Craven's death. The freeway will be closed for several hours. And our Vanessa Paz is here now with more impact on the traffic here as we're learning new details on this.
Yeah, Eric, this is actually the scene where Regina was just reporting from. This is a wider view of it. This is the 8 East right at Fairmount, and as we showed you earlier, it's a very active scene. We have plenty of patrol cars still on site there, and all lanes are currently completely shut down to traffic eastbound, starting at about the 8:05 as you make your way east towards the college area. Top of your screen is that westbound drive, and we'll continue to keep our eye on the traffic throughout the morning, because I know a lot of people are probably waking up hearing this news, wondering how it's going to impact them, especially if they live in the East County and they use the 8 freeway. This is the westbound drive. So this is the drive that's likely going to see slowing this morning due to that activity there. Caltrans did state that the SIG alert will be in effect for at least 3 to 4 hours. And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated throughout the morning. But just a reminder, all lanes eastbound closed from the 8:05 to about Fairmount. And they're actually diverting traffic right now to both the 15 North and the 15 South. So just make sure that you're planning ahead as you head out the door this morning. Eric.
And be sure to stay with CBS 8 for updates on all this breaking news. You can also head to CBS8.com, our app, and our social media pages. A vigil will be held today after a 12-year-old boy was killed in a crash near Lake Murray.
2 girls, his sisters, were seriously hurt in this. CBS 8's Chris Grow live near St. Andrew's Lutheran Church with new information on that crash. Chris.
And it's, again, likely going to be an emotional vigil. This has been an emotional set of days here, just as we are getting now into the early morning hours here, just the next day after this happened. We spoke with community members yesterday to get a sense of of how they are doing, how they are feeling. One parent in particular, again, told us that he thought the worst when he saw the news, when he saw, of course, the patrol cars and the response. Take a listen to what he said.
My heart just is sinking, I'm fighting back the tears. It's just so awful. My son walks to school, and he actually crossed the street right after this happened. We heard the sirens, and my heart just sunk, not knowing if it was him or not.
Now, according to the San Diego Police Department, around 7:30 yesterday morning, a car was going east on Jackson when it struck the three siblings, the two sisters and a brother, Andrew Olson, who were all transported to Rady East Children's Hospital. Andrew died. There was no crosswalk on the street, and police say that they crossed at that intersection. Police say the driver did stop and tried to render first aid. Speeding and driving under the influence are not considered factors, and no arrest was made. We did speak with the San Diego Police Department, who continues to investigate this. They spoke a little bit about the actual crash itself, but then also how moving forward, we need to be more careful here on the streets, especially as we approach things like Halloween. Take a listen.
Did not see them that early in the morning as he was crossing over this hill. Halloween is coming up. It's just another good reminder for drivers to be extra cautious, as we know that our children are going to be trick-or-treating in the neighborhoods coming up soon.
Now, the principal of Pershing Middle School did put out a statement shortly after this transpired yesterday, saying that they are sending their thoughts and their prayers to the loved ones, the family members of these siblings, but then also providing grief counselors and trying to put support in place for students, teachers, and staff and parents who belong to the Pershing Middle School community. Again, this vigil happening sometime around 6:45 p.m. here in this area at this church here. And of course, we'll be continuing to cover this story as more develops. Back to you in studio.
Okay, Chris, thank you for that. Today, the County Board of Supervisors will consider a proposal aimed at making it easier to tell who's a real immigration officer and who is not. It comes as Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer says people are impersonating ICE officers. This proposal would direct the Chief Administrative Officer to pursue enforcement and legal action against sellers of counterfeit law enforcement gear.
Today, county supervisors will also consider a proposal that takes aim at foreign investors in San Diego's housing market and prioritizes local buyers. Supervisor Jim Desmond's plan pushes for statewide restrictions on foreign purchases of single-family homes. It also directs staff to study local programs that would help first-time home buyers.
All right, it is 6:07. Take a look right now at the fog. This is in Kearny Mesa. Trying to drive through this, really got to slow down because it's hard to see if there's anyone in the road, even the cars or street lights. So pretty tough to get through in some spots. Thankfully, it's not widespread throughout San Diego this morning, but certain neighborhoods definitely want to give yourself extra time. Hi, Evan.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing that we're watching for as we start off the day, which is that out along the coastline, visibility has been reduced to less than a quarter mile in many cases. Carlsbad is right around that range. Miramar is at 0.1, Kearny Mesa at 0.3, North Island, so Coronado area, at less than a mile as well. Less than a mile indicating that you have dense fog in front of you, and for many of these spots where we're at way less than a mile, a quarter mile, a tenth of a mile, that's where you want to slow your speeds tremendously. So this is mainly an issue affecting our coastal communities, but it is stretching pretty far inland for the day. By the next couple of hours, we'll start to see some improvements made. We'll transition towards sunshine by the afternoon. This is all part of a trough of low pressure sliding onshore. So that low pressure system that's making its way onshore is going to call for a cooling of temperatures. We had above normal temperatures for the weekend, and even to start the week, Monday, yesterday, was still in that warmer than average range. Today, we're taking a hit by a few degrees. Tomorrow is the standout coolest day of the week. 73 out along the coast, 82 for our inland valleys and our mountains, and 90 for the deserts today. Here's what temperatures are like out the door right now. We're pretty mild, mostly in the 50s. We've got a couple low 60s in downtown San Diego and in Alpine, 57 in Carlsbad, 51 in Escondido, and even some low 40s with Ramona right now now at 41 degrees. A live look at the fog as we start off the day just goes to show how impacted a lot of our local cameras are and how impacted your view could be as you start off for the morning commute. Vanessa Paz has a look at how that fog is affecting many facets of our traffic this morning, as well as a check of how things are looking in that area where that crash took place earlier today.
Yeah, Evan, as you mentioned, the fog, it's pretty localized this morning. In fact, typically we see kind of a wider stretch of the orange color, yellowish colors here, and that indicates where we're seeing the worst of the fog. And right now it looks like the worst of it is confined to the 5 freeway, just south of the Oceanside area as you make your way towards Encinitas, north of Del Mar, and we're seeing it also heavily reduced in the OB, Point Loma area, as well as Coronado Island. Again, another big story that we are continuing to follow this morning is a SIG alert following a double fatal crash that occurred late last night. All lanes eastbound on the 8 are closed to traffic starting right about the 805 all the way to about Fairmont as you make your way towards Waring Road into the College area. Right now, all traffic is being diverted to the 15, either north or south. If I were you, I would just opt for an alternate route overall. Maybe you take the 805, exit Friars, and then take some surface streets to get around that. But just make sure that you're planning ahead, especially if this pocket is involved in that morning commute. I'm keeping an eye on the drive headed westbound in from the College area. This is going to be heavily traveled this morning for the commute, but it looks like so far we're at average speeds as you make your way out of the College neighborhood towards Mission Valley. 5 to 7 minutes right now to get you in from the East County headed westbound. That's on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And it looks like we're seeing a good amount of brake tapping, crawling right now from downtown all the way towards Coronado via the bridge. All right, it is 6:11. Let's go ahead and take a look at your border wait times. Very high, especially coming in from San Ysidro's port of entry. Over 2 hours there and about an hour and a half coming in from Otay Mesa at last check.